with them?
There's a lot of kids here, so I'm not going to say.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. That's pretty much it. I can get by without anything else.
You get a ton of love in smaller towns.
Yeah. Well, we've always done so much touring in small towns. Like, that's where I grew up, with small towns. So we always, you know, even when we were doing our tours back in the day in the minivan, it wasn't like just go to Vancouver, just go to Calgary, Edmonton. It was hit the Invermere, hit the Kelownas, hit the Nelsons, all that small fun stuff.
Right, and I was going to ask, like, because you do so well there, is it because of the touring? Because they might not get as much radio exposure as the big cities do. So what, like, your shows sell out fast in those smaller towns. What do you attribute that to?
Totally touring. Just like you said, like I'd never had much radio play till even the last couple of years now. So it was all just coming back to the same town. I've been to Nelson probably 6 or 7 times. And every time we go back, it gets bigger. And just small town, I find people appreciate like that. You come out there and actually play the show, they'll come out if they enjoy themselves and support it.
Cool. And you have a song called It's Hard to Be Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine that it's even harder to be Canadian hip hop.
Yeah.
What do you think are the biggest challenges that you faced being a Canadian hip hop artist as opposed to?
I just think, you know, I mean, there's not so many, well, before like Drake and Kano blowing up the last few years, I think anybody in the rest of the world will look at Canadian hip hop and go, really? Like, you guys make hip hop up there? But I think Drake and Kano and getting music out there on a national or international level definitely has made it more comfortable with Americans listening to Canadian hip hop. Like, I think they're just more open to it now. Like, yeah, I'll check that out. Before it was like, I ain't listening to that.
And
so it is what it is.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you think that it sort of helped, because you never really rapped about, you know, chains and cars and rims and stuff like that. Now there's sort of a resurgence of like a little bit more conscious hip hop, and that stuff used to be really big, you know, a few years ago, the bling and all that stuff, but not so much today. Do you think that's helping you?
I think there's starting to be more of a balance now. Like you said, 5 years ago there was bling bling shiny things, which there still is. Rick Ross, like there's still that type of music, but then you guys got guys like Kendrick Lamar, Macklemore, who are like just opening a whole nother lane way where it's like it's cool to talk about this, it's cool to talk about that. And I even think that goes back to like Kanye West. I think he was the first person on his first album that would come out and be like, you know, I'm insecure about this, I can talk about this, and just talking real life situations.
Right. And your younger brother is also an artist, right? Is he here?
He was supposed to be here, but he was laying with no shirt on watching Big Brother Canada back at the tour.
Now, him being an artist as well, what sort of advice did you give him when he told you that I want to be an artist as well?
Just work hard, and Mike's the first person he knows, like, he doesn't go at it hard enough. Like, he loves making music, he comes to the studio, helps me, but you know, if you really want to be an artist and turn this into a career, you got to go harder than everybody. You got to put that work in. You got to put that time in. You can't just write a verse when you feel like writing it. You got to be going every day. Like, what can I be doing? And he knows that. He uses it. It's more of a hobby for him. It's more him working on my stuff with me and stuff like that. But I'd love to see someone like him work at his stuff that much harder because he has talent. But talent doesn't take you too far unless you put that effort in.
You had that song, "Oh Canada," 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago. Now, that came out right during the 2010 Olympics, which were held here.
Vancouver, yeah.
And were you, like, sort of hanging on to that song? Did you write it for the Olympics?
No,
Did you have that in mind? Or?
I'm very lucky sometimes, and that was just good timing.
That seemed to be some of the best timing you could have asked for.
Like, yeah, we made the song probably a year and a half, and it never even crossed my mind the Olympics were coming to Canada and that stuff. And then the album was out. It was the 4th single from the album. Sony was done pushing the album. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, man, let's put out "Oh Canada." It's a cool, something different. And we put it out, and then 2 months later, the whole Olympic hype happened and all that. And I was like, oh, this is amazing, perfect timing. And just even coming out here playing the show, it was like the street anthem on the corners. Like, everywhere we walked, we heard "Oh Canada" down here. So it was super cool to hear that.
Do you think that really helped you get to a new demographic?
Outside the hip hop world,
yeah.
definitely. It just brought my music outside of that underground hip hop world that I've been, you know, making music in so long. Just Joe Blow, who works a 9 to 5, and you know, that Canada sound definitely opened up a lot of ears.
So we're just gonna do one more thing here. I'm gonna give you a word or a phrase,
okay,
and you give me the first thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Let's do it.
Canadian hip hop.
Maestro Fresh West.
Much music.
Master T.
Drake.
Drake. Dope R&B hip hop artist.
North Korea.
That crazy dude.
iPhone.
I just got the new one, 4S. Still hate typing on it. Hate typing on the iPhone.
Honey Boo Boo.
Embarrassing.
Transformers.
GoBots.
Big Man.
Whopper.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Carlson.
Jay-Z.
Damon Dash.
Cool. That's it. Thank you guys for...